Thomas Massie says he will publicly read the names of the Epstein clients before his time in Congress comes to an end. And I think the most obvious thing to say here is, why not just read them fucking now? Because like, I think everybody is tired of everyone coming out and being like, I will read the Epstein names if this happens. And it's like, no, stop with the if, just fucking say them. But also, I don't think he will ever say them because he said this. There is at no point in time you could convince me you know the names of people implicated on Epstein's list, and you would be able to publicly say that you will say those names on that list, and then you don't wake up dead to 2 shotgun blasts to the back of your head. So it's like, if you actually had the names, you would not do this as some kind of virtue signal. Because the people who don't want those names outed to the public have proven they will just kill you. So saying this is like the dumbest thing possible, unless everyone knows he doesn't have the names, and thus it's not bad for him to say this.
Can we expect you to name more names in the coming weeks and months?
Yes. Todd Blanche is violating the law. There's still millions of files they haven't released. We know from
this, honestly,
to
the way that he's moving here, it doesn't even look like he's real. Like, this looks like it's AI. Is this even a real video?
Victims' lawyers, that their own 302 forms haven't been released. We know that files have been over-redacted. I have released at least 3 names of billionaires who are implicated in this. I don't think it's possible to get to convictions with Todd Blanche at the top and with the FBI director, Kash Patel, at the top, because they've effectively both perjured themselves.
What's wrong with his mouth? It's not like one specific thing wrong. It's like the way his face is moving while he's talking. And also his head doesn't move at all. Like, it's just, it feels really unnatural. It's like that Chinese guy from that Linus Tech Tips video that I just kept screaming that he wasn't real. He already admitted he doesn't actually have a list of names months ago after getting called out. Massey's grandstanding hack who needs to lay off the drugs.
By saying that there's nobody else in the files. Even Melania doesn't believe that. The First Lady knows that Jeffrey Epstein didn't act alone. And here's the great thing, Kristen. Whether I'm in Congress or not, the Epstein Files Transparency Act is a law, and it goes on for years. So if we can't get this Attorney General and this FBI director to do the right thing, the next ones who take those seats are obligated by law to release the files that these individuals are not releasing now.
I've pretty much given up all hope of finding out any names in those files until everyone who could be held accountable has long passed away. Which is, I think, like the most infuriating part of all of this. He's released names that are in the files, not that they were implicated. He cannot say they did nefarious things about being held liable outside of the congressional floor. Unless a foreign power leaks it, nothing will happen. I mean, what foreign power would leak it, considering apparently it implicates many foreign powers and not just, like, the US and the UK, right? Rifile, thank you. The names are kind of useless. Massie got busted for throwing shit on 6 innocent dudes who were in an FBI lineup. Yeah, and it's just like, if he knew anything, he would not say this. If you have secretive information that hasn't been released to the public and has gotten multiple people killed, including the guy who, like, did the entire pedophile ring in the first place, the number one thing you would do is not say publicly that you have the names and will release them. So it's just like, this is all fake. This is all fake and gay. Minnesota watched a Somali man walk free after a jury convicted him of stealing $7.2 million in taxpayer money. The jury called the evidence overwhelming, and the judge overturned the verdict anyway.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Yusuf, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife, Lol Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant or...
Isn't that, like, illegal? Only if you're white.
...or PCA scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money on luxury items for themselves.
Yeah,
Despite
cool
the jury
clock,
swiftly
Ahmed.
convicting Yusuf, Judge Sarah West last week decided they got it wrong.
It's reversing or overturning a jury's verdict.
Defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who's not affiliated with this case, reviewed the decision and analyzed it for KARE 11 News. He says Judge West ruled that the state's case relied heavily on circumstantial evidence and that she believed the state did not rule out other reasonable inferences.
That, in fact, there could have been other reasonable theories other than guilt in this case. That's what it comes down to.
Despite the ruling,
Maybe we should start hiring and firing people based on race. Because then we can just say no more white women in any positions of power. Does this job require you to make decisions? No white women need apply.
even Judge West wrote that she is troubled by the manner in which fraud was able to be perpetuated at Promise Health.
I was stunned.
State Representative Kristen Robbins, chair of the House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee, says she's now reviewing if any state laws need to be tightened.
We want to strengthen state law so that we can get prosecutions out of these cases, because clearly a jury thought he was guilty.
Jurors in the case can't believe the decision.
I am shocked. I'm shocked based off of all of the evidence that was presented to us and the obvious guilt that we saw based off of the said evidence. It was not a difficult decision whatsoever. The deliberation took probably 4 hours at most.
Holy
based
shit,
off of
that is quick.
Evidence that was presented, I was beyond a reasonable doubt.
The attorney for Mr. Youssef, Ian Burrell, sent me a statement today that says, in part, Judge West's ruling affirms what we have maintained from the beginning, that our client, Mr. Youssef, was wrongfully accused and did not commit fraud or racketeering.
Shut
the Attorney
the
General's
fuck
office
up.
filed an appeal this afternoon, so the Minnesota Court of Appeals will take a second look at this decision. Julie.
So, Lou, did Mr. Tamburino, did he have any kind of emotional reaction? And this is pretty stunning. This does not happen.
Yeah, he leaned towards the idea that this was kind of a one-off and that it would have a good chance at appeal. But the worry is that there's so many other cases just like it where somebody's in the exact same position as Mr. Youssef but is charged with fraud. And if the judge can determine that maybe they didn't know that the fraud was going on underneath them in the case, then other judges could throw it out just like this one.
All right, do you know how quickly the Court of Appeals would take this up?
He bought mansions and expensive cars, but he had no idea the fraud was going on. He wasn't part of it. Oh my God, it's all so tiresome, man. What are jury trials good for then? Pretty much fucking nothing in current year, if I'm being honest with you. What does it matter if the judge overturns it? That means that there's no conviction if the judge overturns it. I don't know what this means, but this seems kind of crazy. The National Committee Finance Update, the RNC has 123.9 million cash on hand, whereas the DNC has 14.4 million cash on hand. How? The RNC also has $0 of debt, whereas the DNC has $17.5 million worth of debt. So the DNC is actually in the negative when it comes to cash on hand, whereas the RNC just has $123.9 million. What? How does this happen? What the fuck? Almost like the DNC is spending their money on things they keep denying and calling right-wing rhetoric. You would think there'd be less spending with US aid defunded. You would think that after the SPLC was caught funding extremist groups, they would have stopped spending money on that. So what's going on here? And somebody asked Grok, is this real? And Grok said yes. According to the latest FEC filings through April 30th, 2026, the RNC reported 123.9 million cash on hand with zero debt, while the DNC had 14.4 million cash on hand and 17.5 million in debt. What the fuck? Being conservative versus being liberal with your money. Truly. It's almost like one party has better fiscal responsibility. Imagine. The Libertarian National Convention happened recently. This guy said, amidst all the crying from the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire members and allies over being disaffiliated by the Libertarian National Convention, I have a question. LPNH and friends endlessly insult the Libertarian Party and its members, also calling them ineffective or worse for the liberty movement. So why does LPNH want to be affiliated with the Libertarian Party? And LPNH said, we're the rightful Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. That is our name. You won't take it from us. You're coming after it because as a left-wing freak, you get filled with envy when you see someone else succeed. Which is just true. And the OP replied, helping to elect candidates from other political parties is not how normal people define success for a political party. Well, when your political party has done nothing but split votes and lose for decades, and then one party's figured, hey, we can actually get candidates elected. We figured out a way to do that. And you say, no, you can't do that. You can't win. That might be a problem. And so someone else posted here some images from the Libertarian Party National Convention. This guy in the t-shirt that says, "This was the only shirt I had with no cum on it."
You're problematic and autistic, and you have a sex obsession, and also you are addicted to porn.
Supposedly, this is the guy who was elected as the current National Libertarian Party chair. And, you know, I'm all for a level of whimsy, but, like, if you own that shirt, that is absolutely a shirt you wear in your house to do chores and relax, you know? Like, you don't wear that outside, much less at some, like, public event. That's fucking crazy. And then there's another picture that was also from this convention. Someone with a sign that says, "Good luck in court, Kauffman." And then we have some sort of gender-confused individual trying to cosplay Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts. And then a prostitute. Why is there a pink-haired prostitute at a political convention? What is happening? That's the shirt you wear to a job interview. Libertarians are a joke. LPNH is the only branch that isn't a bunch of lolberts. Yeah, pretty fucking much. Why do they both look like they're prostitutes? And two of those people are the new LNC board members. Guess which ones? If I had to guess, it's probably going to be the prostitute and either the cosplayer or the deranged woman with the sign. The pink-haired one isn't even trying to pass. Yeah, there's someone who would get hit in Grand Theft Auto, you know? You're busy playing children's card games at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series tournament last weekend, and 2,000 plus people were dressed more seriously than that fucking shirt! The fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series tournaments has people dressed more seriously than the National Libertarian Party. Apparently this happened at a previous Libertarian National Convention. I can't imagine why nobody takes the party seriously. I can't imagine why Lolbertarians have the reputation that they do of being incredibly unserious people. And then, I don't know if this was from this year or not, but you have some guy dressed up in a woman's swimsuit looking like a gremlin.
What the fuck is going on here?
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Have a little decorum, I fucking beg. And someone else here, a Republican Libertarian in New Hampshire trying to save the Libertarian Party from total humiliation. His proposal, wear shoes, wear pants. Maybe don't show up to a political convention in a thong. The reaction perfectly exposed why the Libertarian Party keeps losing while the rest of the political world moves on without them.
And the Libertarians' response was, "You hate freedom, my dude." There was a Libertarian named Ben Ware who tried to save them, and they just wouldn't let him. Ware, who is running for Merrimack County Sheriff in New Hampshire, as a Republican, interestingly, he posted on X earlier this month.
Yeah, so he can win.
With a simple, modest, entirely reasonable request. He asked the Libertarian National Committee to establish a baseline professional dress standard for official convention proceedings. Business casual, neat facial hair, closed-toed shoes. That was it, okay? Yeah, and the Libertarian Party nearly tore itself apart as that, right? No boots as hats. That was a real thing, because one of these guys, I think you all remember from my time back in the day, Vermin Supreme, who wore an actual
he wore the
boot
boot
on his head for years, running for president. And no see-through clothing to protest government opacity. Also a real thing. And no thongs on the convention floor. This was so controversial that Ben Ware described himself in the Wall Street Journal as
I can only think of Travis calling these people performative theater kids, because that's what it is. If you can't even take the time to look like an adult while describing things that you think should happen on a national level in our country, you are not someone who should be taken seriously. I am a literal cartoon fox in a swimsuit because artists will not finish models on time. And I have more awareness of I should put on a different outfit depending on the company I'm going to. I have more sanity as a fucking cartoon than libertarians on the national level. Libertarians are just a bunch of hipsters that get off on losing. I fucking guess so.
As a quote punk / alternative guy with tattoos and a nose ring, he's not asking for Wall Street. He's just asking for chinos and a polo. And the Libertarians' response was, "You hate freedom, my dude."
Like, that's incredibly insane. Like, you can put on the normal human wardrobe to go into the political convention, and then when you get out, you can take off your normal human clothes and go back to being some sort of weird rave dancer at midnight, you know? Like, what is this? Have you ever wanted a pet, but the responsibility of remembering to feed and water something alive is a horrifying prospect? Get your very own Korsche today. This little guy is too low IQ to understand it's not alive. Do you already own the Conco's My Little Padded Room Magical Girl Kirsche plush? Well, get this companion Korsche to keep her company. Or maybe you just want to commit war crimes with a reliable partner who won't snitch to Interpol about your dastardly doings. Get your Korsche today. The Korsche will continue to love you, no matter what. Except if you try to do it. Do not the Korsche. The Korsche is for loving, eating, and war crimes, not for doing. Buy a Korsche for your Korsche so that they don't get lonely inside your walls. Korsches are valuable employees of Korsche Mart, and if you find a Korsche reverted back to a Kirsche, please call 1-800-KORSCHE now to have her return to her original residence. Korsches are also an endangered species due to severe retardation, overeating, and excessive use by world powers and military conflicts. Please know that owning a Korsche does not give you the right to do it. The feds are listening to your every move. If you or a loved one has been assaulted by a Korsche, contact authorities immediately, as you will not make it. You can buy your very own life-size Korsche or a Korsche for your Korsche starting May 8th at 3 p.m. EST through June 5th at 8 p.m. EST. Get yours now before they escape and are gone forever. And we have, Jeremy Kauffman gave a speech. I did not watch his speech, so we're going to watch it together. So the Libertarian Party has become detrimental to the cause of liberty. And Jeremy Kauffman specifically was running for the National Libertarian Party chair to dissolve the Libertarian Party.
Shies away from straightforward thinking, visionary action, and you can look at his history in business, you can look at his history with his family. He is a very successful man, and I hope that you will all respectfully listen to what he has to say and the recommendations that he has to make today about the purpose of the Libertarian Party and how, as chair, he would make that happen. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello!
I wanted to start by saying thank you to the man most responsible for me being in the Libertarian Party. Could we give a hand to Nick Sarwark, who recruited me? Thank you, Nick, for getting me here on stage. Nick deserves a lot of credit.
Apparently, Nick Sarlacc Pitt, whatever the fuck his name is, was a, like, lefty libertarian that got angry at the Free State Party in New Hampshire and said that the Free State Party is hostile, and so he moved to Colorado or some shit. And it's like, yes, that's what I want. I would love to make this place hostile to people who wish to see harm done to me. Get the fuck out.
Nick and I used to share an office together, and I got to see firsthand how he thinks and operates. And it was a different kind of libertarianism than we generally saw in New Hampshire. And so, as Rachel said, I am here to tell the truth. I'm not here to be nice. And there are hard truths that libertarians need to hear.
If you were unable to contend with a hard truth and you would rather curl up like a fetus position beetle with a comforting lie, you probably have no business dealing with anything in politics. And it kind of says something that he, like, has to address a room of adults with something like that. Because you know that these adults are going to have, like, crying shit-fit child tantrums at being confronted with maybe having to wear a decent-looking shirt instead of a MILF's leopard print leotard.
Which is, in 55 years, you have never won at anything. You have never won a single competitive head-to-head race against a Republican or Democrat. Not once in 55 years. And so you exist to burn millions of dollars, tens of thousands of hours, hundreds of thousands of hours of the time of people selling them false hope. And I'm urging you to wake up. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect different results. You've been doing it for 55 years. People here, every other officer, every other person running for this position is saying the same stuff. We're gonna raise money. We're gonna bring back Project Archimedes. We need to do it back in like we did it back in my day. I used to have 100 people, and we're gonna do it again. Are you guys stupid? Genuinely, like, are you dumb?
And this man is making sense. That's why he's not libertarian. He makes too much sense. Selling people false hope really is a scathing criticism on a moral scale. It is. It is, because, like, whenever I see, like, a libertarian candidate for president, like, everyone knows they're not gonna win. Everyone looks at them like, okay, well, now we have, like, this person who's going to be taking votes away from a candidate that actually has a chance of winning. And maybe we get an even worse candidate because the vote was split too much from people voting for this third-party retard that doesn't know to get out of the way. Nice campaign slogan. Are you guys stupid? You were sold that false hope 15 years ago? It's like, I would love to have, like, an actual alternative, but it seems that that is not possible. And we don't live on the, like, well, I wish this was true. We just live in reality. And if libertarians who want to actually contribute and get something done have found a way to win seats a la being allies with certain GOP people in New Hampshire, why would you think that's a bad thing? If people in your party are winning, even if they're not doing it under the giant L, should that not be a good thing? It's actually insane. Trump, are you tired of winning? LP, are you tired of losing?
Because the libertarians in New Hampshire are not dumb. We win all the time. We have a strategy that works. We know how to be team players.
You're a Republican.
Thank you, Nick. So, I'll tell you my history. And my history is nothing but success. I've been a leader my entire life. You guys will like this one, all the way back to when I was 16 years old and ran an 800-person guild in an MMO.
Hell yeah!
Everything I've done. I took my college
I guess that's why I enjoy this guy. We're both fucking MMO freaks.
ultimate Frisbee team to nationals for the first time. I built a successful business, bootstrapped it myself, grew it to millions of dollars in recurring revenue, and sold it to private equity. I made the service that today, someone came up to me just yesterday and said, thank you. The technology that you made is still the #1 way of keeping 3D gun files online today.
Hell yeah.
And I go to the mat every day, all of the time, for what's right and what's true. And you guys, you freaks, see someone who can do things that you can't.
Just call them freaks. I fucking love it.
And it makes you so angry and so bitter. You are loser apes who can't stand to see someone with abilities that you don't have.
There was a guy that like tried starting a fight with Kauffman at like the New Hampshire Libertarian Caucus thing, where they like re-elected the leader of the New Hampshire Libertarian Party. Obviously Kauffman won. He's a fucking gamer and he's holding back. I was like, at any moment after that gamer sentence, I was like, he's gonna drop the N-word, isn't he? Holy shit. Loser apes. You really want to quote some things that you're not allowed to quote here? Yeah, right? Oh my god. Like somebody tried like getting in his face and like about to fight him, and it's like, what the fuck is happening, man? Like, this is insanity.
And nothing successful can be built with people with this psychology and this attitude.
Wait a minute. I just noticed he has a helicopter on his fucking tie. Based. When the commies have overtaken the Libertarian Party, you show them with your tie what you'd like to do.
So, if you want to be successful, I'll tell you how you can do it. I don't really expect to win, so I don't think I'm going to be the guy to do it, although I do think you should cost at least one protest vote for me. But success would be doing what LPNH does. Stop telling people that you're going to win the next election and burning them out.
Yep.
Set reasonable goals that you can actually achieve them, and grow. If I needed 100 armed men to show up at any specific spot in New Hampshire tomorrow, I could do it. Maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah, I kind of don't doubt that, actually.
But we had 100 people at our convention. I'm talking to other people in other states. They had 40 people. They had 50 people. Why do we have 100 people in New Hampshire, a state of 1.5 million people who want to come out? New Hampshire has the largest...
That's true. Put them on the Mass border. We need to protect from the illegals coming from Massachusetts to New Hampshire. Illegals, asterisk, not actual illegals, just Massachusetts citizens we don't want here.
The Sergeant at Arms to remove, I would like the Sergeant at Arms to remove this communist. We have a communist infiltrator here who can't keep his mouth shut, who can't follow the rules. You guys get so angry at our success. There are some communists who stole our sign last night, and they're going around bragging about it. I stand up for my rights against the cop, and all of a sudden the leftist freaks who say all cops are bastards are on the side of the police.
That's true. I don't even know if there's been any developments with that. Or like there was an altercation in a parking lot, and like there was an article that just like basically railroaded Kauffman. But I don't know. I don't know if anything's happened since then.
So you guys can't handle it. You are so congenitally anti-everything that when you see someone with something who can do anything, you melt down. And I am here to cleanse the party of you losers.
Hell yeah.
You will no longer have control over the name Libertarian. We will bring it back to the place of truth and justice and all that is right and good. Okay? I've been the best representative of libertarianism in the country.
Spoiler alert. They disaffiliated Libertarian Party of New Hampshire after this banger of a speech. They were so upset at being called loser apes. They're like, we just can't even have a single winner in this party. Get out.
Country over the last several years, because I represent a strategy that works and continues to work. The LNC, on the other hand, has become controlled by bureaucrats who are more interested in maintaining their own power over a petty little organization with what? You guys have $3 million? I'd raise $3 million in 2 weeks, okay? Do you understand? Do you understand how pathetic the state of this organization is? Do you have theater kids with 110 IQs who couldn't succeed at anything else in their lives and are here because this is the only place they could be?
Bro, he is scathing. That's insane. 3 million for a national party. At least they're not 17 million in debt like the Democrats. They got that going for them. They were so mad about being called loser apes that they chimped out. Oh my god. And keep it in your pants, Kier. No, he's completely correct. And he's also a happily married man. You fucking relax yourself. That suddenly they're using their freedom of association when someone called them dipshits, right? Right?
You are here because this is the only place you could be. A lot of you. Because no decent organization would take you. So I'm here to offer a solution for those of you who are worthy. It's probably only around, when I came here, we were talking about it. We said, how many do you think it is? A third, a quarter? Honestly, after this convention, it might be a tenth. But there are some of you who are good, who are fit, who are honest, who can cooperate, who want to win, who will do what it takes. You belong in New Hampshire, where we will create a libertarian nation. The rest of you can be screaming at the gates as the socialists eat you alive.
True! Bahamut, thank you. He's the libertarian we need, but not the one we deserve. You'd be mad if you were told you're here because it's the only place you can be. He's boiling them alive. He's not exactly wrong. I mean, like, even like certain Democrat politicians have tried distancing themselves from like that level of freakish people because they know it looks really fucking bad. Chad, I just thought of a great litmus test for a potential partner. Show them the speech, and if they don't get soaking wet, they aren't right for you. Jesus Christ. Professor John Wolfman, thank you. Can you get an LPNH in South Carolina, please? Come home to New Hampshire. Become part of New Hampshire supremacy. Be insufferable.
So, should I be elected chair? I can't actually end the Libertarian Party as chair, but I will get it out of the way to the best of my ability.
That's a great fucking speech. And I definitely think that Jeremy is one of the few politicians getting things done. We have a handful of politicians that I have met with and talked to since coming back home, and it definitely helps increase the white pill factor that there are people who care about getting shit done, and there are people who want to get shit done instead of just continuously get lip service and collect money and then do nothing with it. National Libertarian Party is the prime example of why big tent politics don't work, especially in an ideology that places individualism at the highest level like libertarianism does. Yeah. Jeremy Kauffman for president. That would be kind of crazy if he ever decided to run on a national level. That speech made you nut! Jeremy's pretty fucking great. The 8-minute speech summarized your 2 years in the Libertarian Party better than you ever could. It's pretty nice. We have what we need. We just need people who want to run where they live. Yes. Very much yes. If you are someone especially who's already in New Hampshire, you are in a very good position, much like that fuckwit who ran in Ohio who had a great team to be able to float his campaign. There are a lot of resources if you get involved locally in New Hampshire that you will be able to run locally if you want to. You just have to get in touch with people, and they will make it easy to get in touch. I've been talking about I think it's called Independence Inn. There's an inn there that, like, people who are thinking about moving to New Hampshire, they give you like a discount to stay there. They give you like a little map of like the different areas where you might find stuff that's interesting to your life or your hobbies. So I think that's a great place to start looking and make this place completely hostile to communist subversives. This was LPNH chair Jeremy Kauffman looks down on Nick Sarwark, an open borders left-wing freak, recently left New Hampshire for Colorado. And Sarwark credits Free Staters for why he left New Hampshire. And like, if this is what they mean by become insufferable, and I'm sure it is, because there have been many LPNH people saying that they want to make it hostile for commie subverters to live in the state. This is a great first open endorsement that one of these freaks decided, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna leave. He's Colorado's problem now. Gatekeeping works. Leave Colorado alone. Leave him alone. And then the Libertarian Party has elected a new chair, Bad Evan McMahon. Damn. I have more Twitter followers than the current chair of the National Libertarian Party? I'm a cartoon fox, buddy. He has been convicted of armed robbery, publishes gay torture porn. Is that like the male version of Queen Snake? Do we have like King Snake going on over there? And was a COVID panicant. The good news is the Libertarian Party under his leadership should be unable to take any votes from Republicans. Good fucking God. Washington's fucked. Even the Republicans are blue there. We definitely have some fake Republicans in New Hampshire as well. Now the commies flooded the Libertarian Party. You're glad you're an independent now? I was always registered as independent until I switched to Republican ticket in order to vote in the primaries for the first time Trump was running. And then here's a video. Jeremy saying, both last night and today, property was stolen from the LPNH documentation by Alexa Maffei. LP National staff reviewed security footage and had her positively identified. Rather than allow this evidence to be introduced, I was illegally kicked out of the LP National Convention. And here's her taking their brochures, I suppose. Alex Maffei, a Libertarian Party delegate from Illinois, absconded with LPNH property at convention. Additionally, she stole our delegate banner last night. Both thefts were captured on video, and the truth will come out. Pay attention to libertarians who defend theft. And here's another video.
If there were conclusive evidence captured by LP National staff. All out of order, please. Out of order. Out of order. Out of order. Stephen, please control the room.
They have a guy, like, literally stroking out in the bottom left. I'm gonna feel bad if he has an actual neurological condition, because it looks like he's just incredibly obese from this angle. Any libertarian who would defend theft is not a libertarian, right?
Otherwise, I can't wait here forever, so tell me what you're going to tell me.
No, you have the ability to
all right.
Point of inquiry.
We're not being recognized.
You've seen it.
No, it's not. I would like to know. It's not. Listen to you. Microphone 3. Stop. You're not being recognized.
Kick me out. Kick me out.
Don't do it.
If you don't care that if that happens, if it doesn't happen against our people, we have it on camera. Kick me out. If libertarians care more about kicking me out, you can steal from me. I say all
by the power invested in the
Jeremy, honey, what are you doing?
I had a book from the room. I had a board of
What the fuck is this?
You're creating a distraction.
Someone else.
Like, what the actual fuck? That's a direct violation of the NAP, giving you carte blanche to fire the recreational atomic weapons. This is libertarians cheering on abuse of power and totalitarianism. It's just like, we're not going to do anything about the theft because we specifically don't like you. And it's kind of crazy. And the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire said, also, it's legal in a libertarian society to drop you from a helicopter. True. This person said, I asked Jeremy Kauffman, LPNH, why he was getting kicked out of the Libertarian Party convention. We have video evidence of a theft happening against the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. The Libertarian Party is controlled by bitter leftists who do not care if a theft happens.
This is the heckler's veto. This is an abuse of power, and it's wrong.
I'm happy to have it outside of the room.
Why are you getting kicked out, Jeremy?
This is wrong what you guys are doing. It's wrong.
Why are you getting kicked out, Jeremy?
This is fantastic.
Why are you getting kicked out?
Because we have video evidence of a theft happening against the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. The Libertarian Party is controlled by bitter leftists who do not care if a theft happens. Okay, let's go. No. My laptop's on the You have to let it come on. You obviously have someone will. Jason. No. How am I going to disrupt? He does not know what stuff is.
Leave the building and we can get your stuff from inside.
You're going to have to explain.
Well, Kirsche, it's good when people steal and attack those you disagree with. I really dislike that is the kind of time that we are in. Where it's like any kind of offenses are good and okay as long as they are committed against people who believe differently from you. It is a very sad time to have to acknowledge we live in.
This is not the proper procedure. You're not following the proper procedure. Look, I think this is excellent. I'm just asking to collect my property from inside the room.
So we have several
I'm happy to
people
go with you. No, it's not. How are you going to know what's my stuff's all over?
We have
two different
lots
tables.
of people.
How are you going to
Is your spouse still there?
We can talk about that outside. We can talk about that outside.
I'm not.
Getting kicked out because other people cause a ruckus while you're talking about how a theft occurred is really ridiculous. And then the Libertarian National Committee voted to disaffiliate the New Hampshire Libertarian Party. Final vote was 15 yes to 2 no, unfortunately. And then they made an interesting website here. Save LPNH. New Hampshire wins. The left libertarians, in quotes, can't have that. What's happening? An illegal purge by the National Party. The National Libertarian Party kicked out their New Hampshire affiliate. This is like your high school rocket club, which has never launched a rocket, kicking out Elon Musk. The National Libertarian Party is trying to illegally purge some of the only remaining libertarians in the Libertarian Party. You're just tired of adult children? Like, if you want to be a Disney adult, fine, but stay out of politics for those of us that are serious? Yeah, hard agree. Unfortunately, the children and their temper tantrums are taken far too seriously. The stated reason is because in 2024, a completely different leadership team endorsed Donald Trump. The real reason is they're left-wing losers who can't stand to see right-wing libertarians succeed. All we do is win, and it makes them so angry. The most successful affiliate in the country needs funding. And then they go on to like their wins and stuff. LPNH is the most successful state affiliate in the country. #1 dues paying members per capita of any state affiliate. 12% above the next state. 8 lifetime party members and former officers elected to state legislature. 105.5k followers on X, more than 3 times the second place state, or 77 times if you're into per capita. 53.9 million impressions in the last 2 months, 1.7 million engagements in the last 12 months, 15 plus national and regional outlets covering the LPNH. They do get a lot of media coverage for what would likely be considered a very tiny political party, considering New Hampshire is a very tiny state. And most of the time, I would push back on the, like, Twitter's not real life, but this seems to be a good way that they're actually interacting with their constituents in the state, as can be seen by the results of actually getting people elected. They made a tweet where they had a fun endorsements and support section. What real people and clever anime robots have to say. I can't spell out publicly where this is going to go yet, but I know, and it's going to be incredibly funny, from Jeremy Kauffman himself. Where are the anime robots? Yes, anime robots. The cause of the Free Staters is the cause of all of us now. Someone named Dave Benner. Nemesis of neocons. Oh god, we got an old tweet from the LPNH. I'm guessing this is in August. I don't know what holiday is in August. Not Memorial Day, that's May. Liquid Zulu spotted. LPNH are one of the few affiliates willing to be consistently radical. Whatever their faults, that is the single most important attribute for an LP affiliate. I endorse. From Liquid Zulu. Get in the robot, Kirsche. Oh, it's Labor Day in August? I thought that was September. I thought Labor Day was September. I endorse LPNH and will gladly give them my money to remove all the degenerates. Thank you, Sarah. LPNH has the only libertarian strategy that has ever worked. LP National and every one of the other 49 state affiliates have been complete and total failures. LPNH's success makes them look bad and they can't stand it. It's a pic from John McCain's funeral, you believe? It looks like his daughter. Oh, okay. Isn't that Ginsburg's coffin? I don't think so. LPNH says what everyone else is afraid to say. LPNH gets shit done, and New Hampshire is the most libertarian state. With LPNH's spirit, we may become a Christian state again. Fully endorse LPNH. Well, to be fair, on libertarian principle, you wouldn't become a Christian state again. It would be like you do what you want, but I digress. Where are the anime robots? LP National disaffiliated a state party, but doesn't teach people how to fight local government. Lamau retards. You're literal retards if you don't know local government stuff. I just like that it's a wall of fucking, oh hey, I recognize this black cat. Honestly, I think associating yourself with the Libertarian brand is a mistake. I think that brand is beyond toxic, and y'all are the only remaining sane example of it. I like this account. They post good things frequently. So I thought this was a pretty funny website. Pretty funny, but also pertinent, considering that the National Libertarian Party wants to get rid of the only Libertarian Party doing anything. This does not look like an individual that should be driving. Like, she isn't quite at the level of, like, fish face that we see in some of the actors and actresses in current year. But she def got a touch of, like, the fetal alcohol syndrome going on. And so... Female NASCAR driver cries during shocking in-car meltdown, parks truck during race, and rage quits the series. They're calling it the most woman moment of all time.
Women.
Women drivers, am I right? It's like, oh my god. Natalie Decker parked her truck during Friday's race at Dover after just 81 laps after NASCAR black flagged her for being too slow. That, of course, isn't the whole story. Decker essentially rage quit during the race, suffering one of the most stunning in-car meltdowns I have ever heard. And folks, I've heard a lot over the radio in my years covering NASCAR. Frankly, until yesterday, I thought I heard it all. But this goes straight to the top. NASCAR fans quickly unearthed the audio after Decker exited the race, and it's something we'll be talking about for a long time. Natalie Decker, in a professional NASCAR race, had a disturbing moment where she appeared to cry over the radio about the overwhelming circumstance of competing in the truck series. I'm trying my best to hold my shit together, but I do not want to keep doing this.
Keep it on the bottom, we gotta make a pass-through penalty right here.
You guys, I'm trying my best to hold my shit together, but I don't want to keep doing this.
You're okay, you're okay. We'll just do this pass through and get after it.
We're going to have like 15 laps to go to this stage end. If you do not want to do it when you get back out here, you can bring it in, okay?
There's just so many shitty things that I could say right now. And I'm just trying to keep it together. About the fucking director of the series.
Try to keep your composure and try to just breathe. And if you're not comfortable with this, come in. Let's remember what's on our truck and just bring it to the garage, right?
This woman literally cannot handle the responsibility of turning left. That's kind of crazy.
I feel like a fucking failure if I do that.
You're not. Let's do that. Drive down the garage.
There's so many things I want to say, and I'm probably going to get fucking suspended. You have no idea.
Hey, just pay attention to the spotter. He'll get you into the garage. It'll be okay.
I'm sorry, Josh. I'm not going to come back to the truck series. Derek can take it from here on out. I'm staying to the O'Reilly series. This series fucking sucks.
I hear you. I'll have a fresh bottle of water for you when you get out of the truck. Derek, we got to put something together for you for Nashville.
Anyway, here's Nashville. Nashville mentioned. Ullman's activated.
Amount of hate I'm going to get online for this is just going to be insane. I'm not ready.
That's the first moment of self-awareness she's had this entire time. And this is why my biggest advice to content creators: stop venting on Twitter. Please get a small group of people you can trust that you can vent to about how you feel about things. Because then you can have these woman moments, but they won't be public. They'll be in a group of trusted people that will help you through the woman moment. That's what you gotta do, bro. Stop posting it on Twitter where you're gonna get eviscerated and it's gonna be fucking worse. Or learn to bottle it like a man. I feel like I am probably... If I had to, like, judge where I would be on a woman's scale of compartmentalizing and dealing with shit like a man, I'm probably, like, in the top 1% of women who can do that. And even I still have, like, levels of emotionality where I cannot handle anything and I need to just, like, step the fuck back and become a turtle in a blanket for it for a little bit, you know? Like, it is just some things we were not meant to handle, you know? The viral doorbell intruder who claimed to be a fictional wizard has reportedly been found incompetent to stand trial. Jason Thomas Nichols was seen on ring footage shouting while attempting to break into a... Didn't he actually break in? Didn't he actually manage to break in? I thought this motherfucker was AI. Fucking gem alarm, buddy. Yeah, he got in. He's very lucky he didn't get ventilated by the homeowner in that regard. I don't remember. Did he attack the homeowner? Because, like, if he actually attacked someone, then I would say fucking execute him, get him out. But otherwise, if he hasn't damaged anyone, I guess lock him up, right? But incompetent to stand trials, I don't like that. I don't like that. Music vids using the doorbell footage is amazing. It is. The incompetent to stand trial means that he's probably just going to get back out, terrorize some other people, and it's going to escalate into actually harming someone. And I don't like that. I don't like that. The man wasn't in the home and the wife and daughter locked themselves in a room and were safe. They shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to do that because psychopaths like this are out on the street, man. What? He has a sex... Oh, okay. If he has a sex crime already pending, yeah, fucking execute him. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. You can't loony bin your way out of that shit. He's going to escalate. Incompetent to stand trial feels like such a cop-out for crooked prosecutors and judges. Yeah, like even the trail that I was going down was like, he still shouldn't be found incompetent to hold trial. It's like, fucking lock him up, bro. Like, let's get this straight. If he's incompetent to stand trial and we all know he did a crime, that should be all the more reason to lock him up forever. Where I go from, like, lock them up forever to just fucking execute them, get them out, is when the crime is violent, right? Such a cop-out, the guy should be got, but it's California, of course. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There's zero reason this thing should be out on the street. Zero fucking reason. If he is too incompetent to understand harassing people at their homes is bad, He does not belong out on the streets. Inside the heartbreak of Beartooth frontman's wife after he comes out as proudly gay. Pit actress reveals anger at demolition of a 13-year marriage and the subtle red flag their relationship was doomed. At a glance, Floor Shomo, that's going to be hard to not mispronounce, marriage to Beartooth frontman Caleb Shomo appeared every bit picture perfect. Photos of the couple flood her carefully curated Instagram, loved-up selfies, stolen backstage kisses, tributes to their romance for every anniversary and birthday, all in screaming color. Do you think that I could get it written into a prenup that if my husband ever comes out as gay, I can murder him and kill myself? Is that something you can write into a prenup? Can you do that?
No.
Kirsche in 15 years, shut the fuck up! On the 1st of every April, she would remind the world how lucky she is to have found Caleb, sharing pictures of their beachfront Kauai, Hawaii wedding, which she once called the most perfect of days. I feel like if your husband wants you to plan your wedding for the 1st of April, maybe you should take into account that that is April Fool's Day, and he's basically saying you're a fool for marrying him, this entire thing is a sham. Like, if my husband even suggested this, we would be immediately going to see if he's gay. I like that. I just, ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. Do not a Shutter Island. Your Honor, she doesn't get anything in the divorce because it was all an April Fool's joke. It's also tiresome. Chat, if I get to the end of this article and she says that the subtle red flag was the April 1st wedding, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. This year, however, their 13-year anniversary came and went without so much as a mention on her feed. Mere weeks later, it would emerge that her husband is proudly gay. Caleb, 33, came out on Saturday in a lengthy Instagram post addressing the speculation surrounding his personal life. I feel like if you enter into a sham marriage as, like, you want a woman as a beard, but both of you are understanding of the situation, you can make the argument it makes a mockery of marriage, and I would agree, but it's still just like, at least they're consenting adults who know what the fuck is up. In this one, this man literally robbed this woman of 13 years of life because he wanted to LARP as a heterosexual instead of just being gay. I am a proudly gay man, he wrote in the lone post on his social media profile, adding that he felt compelled to set the record straight before it affects those I love any further. 13 years, my guy. It's a little too fucking late for that. It has been, he said, something he's been unpacking and reckoning with for some time, and looked back on past music that explored his religious upbringing, depression, self-hatred, self-loathing, and hopelessness. There's been no need to hide being gay for the last 70 years. I have a feeling that this man is gonna end up an autogynephiliac and we're gonna see him dressed as his wife, basically, within the next couple of years. I spent a decade burying feelings with alcohol, and honestly, when I decided to put it down and focus on exploring why I felt this way for so long, it's been a direct path to me reconciling with my sexuality, in hopes that it will eventually lead me to experiencing self-love. I've kind of talked about this a handful of times, but some guys that I've talked to who have had horrendous experiences with women, whether it be like their mother or their sisters treating them as less than human, or them encountering women who basically are like, oh my god, you thought I would actually be interested to you? What an idiot! You know, just being treated poorly by women, whether it be in a family or after family with dating. Some guys who are 100% fucking straight, they're only sexually and emotionally attracted to women, will be like, maybe I'm bisexual. Maybe if I just could like men, I could find love somewhere. And it's incredibly sad that that is the way that some men have to think because of the ways that they've been treated so poorly. Because no, you're not bisexual, you're not gay, you don't just start liking to suck dick because women have treated you horribly and have been terrible people. And it's sad. Men need to experience more love and more nice feelings from people instead of always being denigrated. As a guy who's experienced exactly what I said, both examples, you're still straight as hell, you just gave up looking. Which is also a very common thing, but some guys are just like, maybe if I could be gay, I could find someone who cares about me. And it's like, that's That's so fucking depressing. I am so sorry, dude. Coming to terms with that fact, however, also spelled the end of his relationship with Floor, 41, who described the disorienting and hurtful few months she's had to navigate that's left her questioning everything. Alongside a video of the enamored pair dancing and giggling together, the London-born actress wrote, in part, "You never want anything more for your person than for them to just be okay. You also ask yourself constantly if you're a bad person for wondering what the fuck this means for your world and the anger you also feel." No, I think that's very correct. And I think a lot of people, when they kind of like celebrate this thing and they're just like, oh my god, he's living his true life, yay, they forget about the wanton destruction he has left in his path by lying to this woman for so many years. I am the only person that is having to deal with the duality of the situation. Floor, for her part, said she will always want to love, protect, and support Caleb. Though doing so while losing everything, she said, has been difficult. This is absolutely the wrong way to go about things. That's insane that she would say that. That is insane. I'd be like, I wouldn't even be talking to the news because he'd already be murdered and I'd already be suicide. Like, it would just be so fucking over. It would just be so fucking over. Additional detail to this, which is interesting, he was 17 when they started dating and she was 25. Maybe that's why she has this opinion, so nobody starts looking into their ages when they started dating. What the fuck? That's fucking weird. We got a PM of France situation. What the fuck? You can love and support your person through the hardest time in their life whilst also be completely demolished and lose yourself at the same time. You question everything, but I have learned the one thing I don't need to question is our history. Well, I think everybody else should question that history if those ages are accurate. 17 and what did you say, 25? What the fuck? The couple dated for about 2 years before tying the knot in April 2013, and since, Caleb has been a mainstay on her social media page. Snaps him solo and the two together abound. Did they mean snaps of him solo and then the two together? They forgot a word. With Floor's caption repeatedly referring to the rock musician as her forever. One post read, "I want to be here long enough to gather dust with you." In another, celebrating the release of his music, Floor wrote, "Forever in awe of you, your ridiculous talent, and your freaking guts for putting another piece of you out there." It was evident when Beartooth was on tour, Floor would post a string of favorite memories of Caleb, gushing about how much she misses him as she counted the days until his return. When they were together, she would wax poetic about their future, often sharing photos of her on the road with the band. He, the larger-than-life rock star, she, his ever-supportive right-hand woman. Well, never trust a musician is the first thing to learn here, but also, I don't understand. Like, why did she go after a 17-year-old? Like, she looks very pretty, and she seems to be successful in her own right. She could have had, like, just any of-age guy. What is fucking happening? You feel like the article is editorializing a bit? I mean, it probably is. Not really sure how to start this, because does anything even need to be said, but I guess I'll just dive right in. The past few months have been a very disorienting and hurtful time to navigate for both of us, but I will always want to love, protect, and support Caleb. I've cared more about his well-being over the years than anything else in the world. To see the confusion and pain he went through and the highs and lows and wanting to help but not knowing how, you never want anything more for your person than for them to just be okay. You also ask yourself constantly if you're a bad person, well, for getting with a 17-year-old, yes. For wondering what the fuck this means for your world and the anger you also feel. I am the only person that is having to deal with the duality of the situation. We read the rest of that quote. Matthew Tyler G, thank you. Good thing about Boog boys is they're usually a good sport when you make fun of them. That's true. That's true and very real. Why are you gay? Do they have kids? That's a great question. It hasn't mentioned if they had kids yet. And they also haven't mentioned their ages. It was just someone in chat that said that he was 17 and she was 25. So that could not be correct. I don't know. But allegedly, according to a chatter. You question everything, but I've learned the one thing I don't need to question is our history. No matter what anyone will say, I know it. I have always wanted nothing more than for Caleb to be happy. Trying to help him go through this without having any idea what to do has been a learning curve we never experienced or expected to experience together. The isolation of not being able to talk to people about this has been profound, as it has not been my story to share. My mental health has suffered, and I have had moments where I have not felt or acted like myself. For those that have known and been there, thank you. I'll never be able to repay your kindness. That's insane that she like knew about this for God knows how long, that he was gay and that her marriage was a sham. She just refused to talk to anyone about it. Like, that's horrible, man. Her mental must have been absolutely fucked. It said he is 33, so they at least got married when he was 20. That is fairly young. The article says they were together for around 2 years prior to getting married, and they got married in April 2012. He was born December 1992, and it says she's 41 and he's 33. You gave me all of the information to figure out the solution. Unfortunately, I can't do math. Our nearly 14 years of marriage was wonderful and full of so much fun, adventure, and love. Nobody will know anything about our marriage like we do, and no one can ever truly know what depths of love exist between two people unless they are those people. I already miss it and my husband more than anything. Our story was a good one, and now it's done. I hope anyone in the world going through this finds hope and courage, and I hope the fans can continue to support Caleb. For now, I'm going to keep focusing on what I can control and continue living my life, trying to achieve what I want to achieve. And if I keep saying hi to as many dogs as possible along the way, then I'm sure things will slowly get better, day by day, piece by piece, bird by bird. As long as you don't try to date a 17-year-old again, lady. What the fuck? What are we doing here? You wonder if she never wanted sex? If she's one of those, it would make sense that it took 4. That's true. That's true. If she's like a dead bedroom kind of lady, it would make sense, you know, that she wouldn't see anything wrong. Caleb, who previously was part of the band Attack Attack, wait, I recognize that name, and most recently appeared in a Valentine's Day tribute in which she called him her favorite person. But in the absence of her annual anniversary tribute, Floor commented her time on set of the HBO medical drama The Pit in a post on April 18th. Under marital issues appeared far away as she shared images of herself dressed in a hospital gown for her role as a patient. Well, why wasn't she in a Pippa t-shirt? I thought that's what we were wearing in like fucking hospital dramas nowadays. Season 2 of The Pit came to a close this week, and I just want to say how wonderful it was to be a small piece of this groundbreaking show. I spent 4 months on set as background, and I'd like to think I used almost every minute of that time watching, learning, and taking in everything I absolutely could. Usually, when you do background, you get maybe a day or two on the same set, and it helps with learning the basics, etc. But this type of opportunity is incredibly rare, to be around a whole team day in, day out, at the very top of their game. I was so lucky to see how it all comes together, episode after episode. Her gleeful posts online, however, concealed a battle beneath the surface, revealing in her vulnerable Sunday Instagram post that her mental health had suffered as a result of her marital troubles. The love and joy within her marriage, as made abundantly clear in the plethora of romantic professions online, was indeed very much real. Her relationship, she said, was wonderful and full of so much fun, adventure, and love. Nobody will know anything about our marriage like we do, and no one can ever truly know what depths of love exist between two people unless they are those people. I mean, she's kind of right about that, but she's also kind of gross. So... I already miss it and my husband more than anything. Our story was a good one, and now it's done. The Daily Mail has contacted representatives for Caleb for comment. Did you cheat on your wife? That's a good question. Truly messed up. Their whole situation has been for over a decade. It's ridiculous. There was no marriage. They actually didn't even tell us what the red flag was. They opened it with, and the subtle red flag, their relationship was doomed. I'm just gonna make my own headcanon. It was because the wedding was on April 1st. That's the subtlety. The dick in his mouth. Do you think she was one of the women that decided to try, like, opening up the marriage, and he was like, yeah, sure, let's do that, but then he started only fucking men and she was confused? She's like, how come every time I invite a guy over to fuck, you want to fuck him? I just don't understand. 2 out of 10 article. We got baited. They didn't answer our questions. Now there's even more. This was too much of a floofy, fluffy fluff piece and not much of an informative one. But holy fuck, I could not imagine flushing 13 years of marriage, almost 14, down the fucking toilet. Like, what the fuck?